Good day, love and light, peace and blessings to you all, fellow supreme heavenly beings. Welcome to this interaction that we're having telepathically, but technologically, because we're advancing. Where are we going? And I'm going to start this with the question because I've decided to call this particular segment The Lost Questions. The lost questions that we had as kids. Where are those questions? I'm looking around and I see adults walking around with questions unanswered. So are they really adults or are they just kids wrapped in suits of grown-ups? What happened to the divine questions we had as kids? Deep questions that would have parents chase us out of the room because they themselves never got answers to the questions when they were kids. What happened to those questions such as, what am I? Where am I? Who am I? What made me? That one seemed to be the only one that sometimes you'd get an answer to, but we were deep as kids. We didn't just conform to the fact that they would say that God made you. You took it even a step further. Well, if God made me, what made God? And that's the question that made, some people even maybe might have got a whooping for that. What, you gonna ask me what's God? Come here. What happened to those questions, the lost questions? Now, growing up, I've figured out, or I've rather found out about myself that I still have those questions. And I've been still wanting answers to them. And I found out that the people around me who are grown-ups really still don't have. So now what they did, or what now is systematically being implanted in us, is that there is a systematic flushing away from those questions. And it makes me wonder as to what if these questions that we had were the most important questions, because the holy scriptures say that be like kids. And if we were asking these questions like kids, then is it really wrong to ask questions as adults? Or are we now ignorant as adults, thinking that certain questions are not permitted? If they are not, then why are we told to be like kids when we were kids? These are the things we wanted to know. So have we come to a point where we think what's now important as adults is actually a lie, an illusion? We have replaced these questions with mundane, trivial things such as seeking entertainment, temporary drugs, stimulants. We're seeking human courtship, but it's not really courtship, for we seeking for courtship, but that has levels to it. We want to be with someone who is deep, but not so deep enough that they don't freak you out. You want to be with someone who does things, but not to a certain extent, because then they're gonna make you think beyond the construct that has been given to you. The construct which I believe that those questions were killing. Those questions were disassembling those particular bars, those jails, those cells. What happened to those questions? What am I? Where am I? But what I like is that some of us never really outgrew that mentality. And that is the best thing. So when I look at shamans and healers and prophets and psychics and all these people, hippies, to me, those are the most amazing people to look at, whether it's on YouTube or I interact with them on a personal basis, because to me, those are the kids that survived. We never really stopped being kids. And we never really are kids, because inside we are eternal, immortal souls. We are multidimensional in our existence. I may be 26, 27, 28 on a physical, but inside I am a little boy. I am a 4-year-old boy. And at the same time, I am a 90-year-old man who is philosophizing with the kid inside of himself, asking and answering those questions and saying that who you are is a divine being. Who you are is an eternal, immortal soul that doesn't die, that only changes form. Who you are is a spirit inhabiting a physical body temporarily to experience what it is that the Most High wanted to experience as you. Who you are is divine. Who you are is greatness. Who you are is God, Goddess. Who you are is supreme, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscience. All the things that you have ever imagined God to be, the old man is telling me that, yes, little kid, you are that thing. Yes, little boy, you are that thing that you were imagining. If all things, they say that all things are possible. Well, is it possible for me to imagine that I am God and actually be that? Well, aren't all things possible? Well, if that's possible, then I'm going to take it to the highest extent and imagine that I am God, that I am great, that I am that loving entity. I want to take it even a step further to say that I believe that there is no external God to me. For if there was, I think that by now he would have come to me. But most of the things that we have been answering, or most of the things that we not rather have been answering, most of the things we have been asking have been strategically pushed out. We have stopped asking these questions, and it makes me wonder as to what if the answers to these questions are the therapy or the therapeutic signature or frequency that is needed. Look at the state the world is in. What if when we knew who we are, the world wouldn't be so bad, the world wouldn't be so corrupt, the world wouldn't be in this feed me only and nobody else is my business. Maybe when we maybe if there were answers to these questions, then Ubuntu would have been formed. Who knows, Ubuntu could have been a result of a people in a certain time who were not pushing kids away, but actually answering those questions as to Gogo, Mkulu, kwenzakalani, singubani, sibuyapi, siyapi. What if our ancestors actually answered those questions, but there came a time when to now ask those questions was something that was seen as unimportant? For what do you have to now focus on? Get that job, young man. Don't ask anything that is not given to you in the school system. Get that report and pass. Move on to the next grade. Go to university. Study for that diploma. Study for that degree. Graduate. Get a job. Get a car. Find someone who you love. Create a courtship. Make a baby with that person. Raise the baby. Take that person. Take that baby to school. And put that baby through the same cycle that you went through. And after that, what you're going to do, you're going to retire, because now you are tired. You are an old tire. You are an old timer. You are an old timer that is about to die with questions unanswered. So now you are sitting on the deathbed, and now the questions come back. What am I? Where am I going? What's going to happen to me after I die? Do you not wonder why those questions, for a huge gap in your life, for about 40, 50 years, you thought those questions were unimportant until you were on your deathbed? What happened to the lost questions that we used to ask as kids? What happened to the lost questions? Are we now depressed as adults because we have inner callings and inner cryings that were never fulfilled, systematically flushed out by a system that seems to be playing us like pawns, recycling us into positions of job to this to retirement to now you are done, we don't need you anymore, so bring in the next generation so now we can use them for their battery, for their life energy, to keep this whole system running around in circles, but never really understanding where we are going. What happened to the lost questions that we had as kids? And what if the answers to those questions are actually what's going to dismiss all the corruption, all the hatred, all the jealousy, envy, and greed? What if the questions we answered on some what am I? What if the answer was you are me? And what if when you found out that you were me, you immediately had an empathic understanding that to kill me is to kill yourself? What happened to these questions? Because these questions might have this particular frequency that might bring about something that we call love. What happened to the lost Christians of the kids? Why are we now messed around, walking around in adult suit bodies, not knowing that we are still kids inside? Why are we afraid of the unknown? Are we really now satisfied with dealing with things of the unknown only on one day, on a Sunday? One day on a Sunday, maybe I might just go and find God, and after that I could go on from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday to Friday. Get a bottle and drink with my friends, get some cigarettes, nice, smoke some weed, get to unplug from work, stress, what a hectic day at work today, that boss, hi, uyahlupha choma, man, that guy, man, uyazi ungikhuluma kabi bantwini, uyazi lo muntu lo uyangihleba mngani, uyangihleba uthi mina. That's what we have been reduced to. We have been reduced to pawns, supreme beings, reduced to mere mundane things because the questions have been not answered. So with unanswered questions, now you get results that act as an effect from the curiosity. And I wonder, when people are chilling on their deathbeds and they're about to die, they look back and they're like, but why did I stop asking those questions? What if maybe if I never stopped, I would have found out? Well, there are people who never stopped, found out. And those are what we call the kids that survived. And I believe hardly that you too are the kid that survived. You know that there's something inside that still asks these mystical questions of where am I? What am I? Don't stop asking those questions, because that is the very thing you were created for. You are called man. The word man comes from Manu, which is the thinker. You are the ultimate questioning machine created by a higher supreme being to come into the realm of duality, to come ask things unasked by the masses, to come ask things unasked by even higher spiritual entities. Even the angels could not walk around in bodies and wonder. What is the purpose to this? What if your whole purpose is to ask questions? So now if you stop asking questions, are you stopping the progression of life? What happened to the lost questions? And what if we actually found out the answers to those questions? Would the world stop being in such a bad state that it's in? Would you find out that you are me and I am you, and we are all one being experiencing itself simultaneously? What if those questions would make you understand, once you find the answers, that what you read in your Quran, in your Bible, is all talking about you, that these were not external people, these were questions, these were principles of the human psyche? What if when you never stopped asking those questions, you would find out that you are a divine being that doesn't die, that only changes forms? You may lose this body, but then you just transform into the next state. What if when you never stopped asking those questions, you would find out that your soul is eternal? What if when you never stopped asking those questions, you would find out that all these things are trivial? All these things have a terminal end, but what doesn't have a terminal end are the happy thoughts, the happy memories, the happy things that you are creating around you. What if you were divine and didn't know it? Ask yourself, what if you were God and you didn't know it, and someone else did and didn't want you to know it? Do you think they would use television programmings to actually program you into buying things, marketing strategies to turn you into a consumer? You are the one who produces things, but now you have... Are we really now just satisfied with being happy for holidays? Oh, it's Good Friday. Ooh, asambisiyophuza. Ooh, it's this day, it's that day. What happened to the mysteries? What happened to the questions? What if you were God and you didn't know it, and someone actually made you to stop questioning, afraid of the fact that maybe if you did know, then the world would change in a twinkling of an eye?